The wind is like one of my favorite things in this world. I don't know where it comes from or what it is, but it's just here. You ever thought about that? Where is it coming from? What is wind?
Hey guys, today we're talking Too Hot to Handle, Season 6, Episodes 1 through 7. It's the show with the talking cone trying to reel in a bunch of horny young adults.
That's right. So this time we got two talking cones, right? We got our typical Lana, and then we got bad Lana with a sexy, sultry American voice.
Yeah. What do you think about that twist?
So, I mean, dude, at first I thought it was going to be cool, but in reality, it really didn't do too much to change the show. Right?
No, it really doesn't.
No. Yeah, but now here's what I'll say. Like, when everybody comes in on this show, and every season, it's like, oh, I'm an F-boy, I'm an F-girl, I can get whoever I want, I'm going to drop panties in an hour, blah, 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 blah. Well, right off the bat, for like the first 8 hours or whatever, sexy Lana comes in and says, oh, there's no rules, do whatever you want. And then it's all just a bunch of kissing, right? There ain't no panties dropping, there ain't nobody freaking jumping bones like they all say they're going to do and all this, and they got like 8 hours to do it, and nobody does it, right? So...
You seem a little disappointed, Billy.
It ain't a disappointment. It's just, it goes to show, like, that there's a script to this show, and these people got to stick with it, and I think we're starting to see that now, right?
Is it realistic for people to drop panties in an hour?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But the thing is, they're all saying they can do it. These guys are like, yeah, I can do that.
Doesn't
right?
mean they're going
so,
to.
And these women are saying, hey, they drop their panties in an hour sometimes, right?
I have no doubt the show advises them to talk up the horniness in the beginning, for sure. Because that stuff only lasts for like a day or two, and then it kind of like chills out.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of production shit in the background going on, and it actually makes the show worse now that we're in season 6, and it just keeps being the exact same thing over and over again, right?
And some of these girls like Flavia and Lucy, I don't think are exactly those type of women to begin with.
Yeah, some of them aren't. Or Bree, right? And Bree played up like she was, but then we see later on that Bree's actually has pretty good morals and sticks to them, right? So,
well, so what do we think about this cast? Who impressed you?
So, I mean, right off the bat, Catherine, like, when she first came in, dude, her voice and her attitude annoyed the hell out of me, right?
Okay, this is my intro. Oh, my God.
But then,
she does have, like, a weird voice sometimes.
Oh, yeah, but then after that initial thing and it started going through, then I was like, okay, I was getting to like her, even though, obviously, she should have gotten kicked off this show at the same time Louis did, right, for the nonsense she was pulling. But, yeah, I was thinking Catherine pretty good.
What guy were you really into?
I don't know, man. I'll tell you, it was cool to see Louis come back, right? Because we all liked him.
I love Louis.
We all liked him in the previous season. He brings the freaking charisma. The dude brings the drama.
He's very charming.
So
something about that accent and his playfulness just works.
And all those women love their British accents, and that's the other thing, right? That just doesn't work with this show. First of all, I don't think there's ever been a single couple that's freaking stayed together from the show more than a couple months.
Last like 2 months.
Yeah, right. And then you got the women like, oh, I love the British accents, and it's like, yeah, but the guy lives in fucking London. You live in Missouri or wherever. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, and you don't seem like the type of people that a long distance relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Works
like it's not gonna work. So so obviously at that point it is just a hookup. If you're gonna hook up with somebody from freaking England, then it ain't gonna last, right?
And none of these people have any deep conversations.
No.
We don't really know what they do. I mean, half of them are models, and they don't talk about like regular everyday life.
I mean, Joelle is a rock star.
Oh my, that kid, man, Joelle, the baby face Joelle, right? This kid comes up in here like, yeah, rock star,
He's like air guitar.
Excellent!
And this dude's like jamming out, I'm a freaking rock star, and it's like, bro, I've never fucking heard of you. So how are you a rock star? Like, maybe you got a lot of TikTok videos out there, and maybe you're a rocker, right?
Yeah, that's what I would call him.
You ain't no rock star, right? It's like, come on, let's get serious here. So. But,
yeah, I do kind of like him though, and he is a little bit different than most other people, which I appreciate because most of these people are like 6'4", like buff, and he's kind of different from that mold.
He just comes across to me as more of a boy than a man.
Yeah, but he does.
I know, but he's cute.
But I will say the kid's got game. He's got charisma, right? And that goes a long way.
And if I was a teenager, I could go for that. Right. But I just don't know as like a grown woman.
Everyone has the most sparkly white teeth and the most amazing smile on this show.
Because, like you said, like at least half of them are models, right?
Yeah.
So
I need to know what
they picked the right cast.
Yeah,
I guess.
What product are they using? Is what I need to know.
How do you whiten your teeth? All right, how about you, Ashley?
So women, I really like Kylisha. Like she was like one of my. I
She
don't know.
seems kind of cool, but she's
Yeah.
not really.
When
mingling
you
or-
asked my
Yeah,
first
yeah.
impression,
Yeah.
yeah. She does kind of like not really interact very well, or at least she doesn't get a lot of screen time and a lot of like interaction with stuff.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, like my first impression, she was probably my favorite female, and then male, I fell for Charlie.
Of course you did.
Charlie?
Yeah, of
The
course
biggest
I did.
douchebag out of this whole
Of course
group.
I did.
man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the salt and pepper thing. The salt and pepper while being young. And
Yeah,
then,
what's
like,
up with the gray hair?
I don't know. I loved
How
it.
old
though.
is this guy?
I don't know.
I think they're
But
all
then
in like their
the-
20s, right?
He's
So
got
You
the
would think.
eyes. He's got the accent. Like I don't know. I liked him.
He does have that kind of serious look too, which is
Yeah.
a little bit different. So
Yeah.
I
Right,
get
but
it.
you-
I get it.
yeah, but
Ask me 6-7 episodes later, and my mind has changed. But initially, that was my initial.
what about you, Josh?
What's her name? Not the one you said.
Catherine.
I was getting ready to say Christine, but Catherine. I didn't really like any of these people because like they're so superficial, seem fake. They're no one seems here for the right reasons. But I get it. That's what this show's
What are the
about.
right
so,
reasons?
but I don't know. They just the women especially like all seem kind of very similar. Like yeah, I mean they're all like dainty, like model looking women. So.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Catherine, she kind of reminds me of Olivia Munn. I like Olivia Munn, so I'm like, okay, she looks like her. So.
I can see that a little bit.
I'm still kind of like, I'm still unsure about her personality though, because there's been like more physical stuff. Than,
oh yeah, that's
I don't know anything really about her other than that.
Well,
so.
and when she, and when she gets the opportunity to actually talk to people about normal stuff, she acts like she likes it. She's like, "Oh, he's actually trying to get to know me." And then she just doesn't go with that guy. She goes with the guy who's just trying to kiss her and freaking get in her pants, right? So I'm like, it just, and of course, and she's freaking pressuring it a lot, right? Trying to pressure people to break the rules and all this. And it's
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
Yeah, and for guys, probably Damari. I mean, this dude's what, like 6'4", 6'5". He's buff and like he's a stockbroker
Damari-
or something like that. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
he's got a lot going on.
Oh yeah, he does.
Damari was, he was probably my second after.
And he's got kind of a baby face too. He's got definitely got that freaking just kind of baby face to him, and
And his teeth. Oh.
But I didn't like what he does later on. But
No.
so,
Oh, yeah.
But he's got the body. He's got everything. And then,
yeah.
I like Damari too.
Yeah, and so like in the beginning, like Bree and what's his name are like making out with everybody.
Yeah, Bree and Charlie.
Yeah,
But-
Charlie.
Right. But,
Yep.
and
They have a pass,
Yeah.
guys.
because Bad Lana, like I said earlier, is like, ooh, you can do, there's freebies. You can have sex, you can kiss, you can pet, you can do whatever you want right now, right? Complete freebies. So they're doing it. Now, I will say this, right? Part of knowing if you got a connection with somebody is, does your kisses do
Do you get the tingle?
Do you get the tingle when you kiss, right? Are they a good kisser? So I can understand going around kissing everybody, just trying to say, okay, you know what, that kiss sucked. I don't even want to get to know her better because even if she's got a great personality, our kisses don't match up, right? So I get them doing that, but they ended up paying the price, all right? To get thrown in freaking banishment.
I don't like it, and
So-
and I mean I don't like people just going around doing that. But so that's why I didn't really care for Bree too much. I mean,
I think Brie was just like, it's like when you go to a buffet, you try a little bit of this, a
right,
little bit of
yeah.
that, and then you're just like, oh, I really like this. So then you just ignore everything else at the buffet, and then you get a full plate of that. And
Yeah,
that's
and
what I think she
she's-
did with
Right.
Damari and
she's
Chris.
the one, in my
Yeah,
opinion,
exactly.
probably changed the most because I didn't really like her initially, and then as the show went on, especially like her interaction with him, like changed my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Well,
like.
and
yeah.
I think she went with Damari because she clearly had a physical connection with Chris.
Yeah.
But there was more than just the physical with Damari. So she was doing it for what you say, the right reasons.
Yeah,
Right,
like
exactly.
she calmed
was-
down
yeah.
quite a bit,
Yeah.
and like she seemed like she was there for more right reasons. Well, that's still to be determined, but
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if anyone actually on the show's there for
Whereas
that.
Charlie, and
I think
Charlie,
he was just trying to make out with everybody.
Charlie's trying to make out with everybody, right? And he just, he finally kind of picks Lucy, even though he was kind of wanting to pick Catherine, and it was like, okay, and then he's just a freaking complete dirtbag, like for the whole show, right? This kid's just a freaking dirtbag.
Yeah, and I'm getting kind of worn out on this show because there's no big payoff at the end. There's no real strong relationships. These guys are like, it's like a hookup show that kind of discourages hooking up. So it's kind of like, what's the point in the end?
Even though damn well the producers are like, hey, this is a hookup show. You guys need to do some hooking up and have the drama and this and that. So it's like, yeah, it's a hookup show that discourages hookups, but in reality, it's encouraging.
Yeah,
hookups,
so,
right?
I'm like, at least with Love Is Blind, like people are getting married at the end,
Right.
So,
Can you imagine if that was a twist on this?
yeah. So like very early on, I was like, same old, but
Yeah.
but then Bree and Charlie
Charlie get
get
banished.
banished. I was like, all right, real consequences.
right off the
now
bat.
we're talking.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, they're not eliminated. They're banished. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
go somewhere for 24 hours.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
still liked it though. I still liked the
yeah,
premise
it's
of it.
better
There's
than
a-
usual.
There's consequences to your actions other than just the money.
Well,
and then,
sometimes.
Right, exactly.
And then I also liked that they were. Here was the thing: is like they're banished because they're breaking the rules, which is eliminating the money. But then they're given more opportunities to spend money by spying on everybody while
Yeah.
in banishment, or not everybody, their person or whatever, and. They don't hesitate to spend this money
hell
in
no,
there,
they didn't.
and no one like seems to like when they come out. No one seems to call
Yeah,
them out on
they
it.
That's
don't
true.
care.
Nobody gave him crap for that, right?
They
Yeah,
lost
that's true.
$15,000 in there,
Yeah.
and they're like,
I think they were
That's-
just kind of happy to see like Brie back and stuff.
yeah,
Right. But I mean, that's more than 2 kisses right there they blew through, right?
They
So-
make them like change into green pajamas, and they act like that's
Like a-
some kind of punishment or
Right,
something
right,
like
right,
that.
right.
Look, when you have all these women who are wearing like these like bikinis that are basically floss, with a little bit of fabric, at no point in time do these women ever wear clothes.
No.
They're always wearing a bikini of some sort or some dress that's just like covering up the bikini or some see-through thing. Like, so to put them in like scrubs, basically, like
Yeah, but it's not for the masses to see.
Yeah,
right? Just
it's
her and
like, what
Charlie
is
there.
this?
It's
they're
like, who
on
cares?
TV like
It's like,
that.
you know-
They're going to be seen in that outfit.
Initially, they made him count
Yeah,
paper
still.
clips. I didn't really
I thought that was
understand
funny.
what that was about.
Yeah, just a pastime, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
guess. But like,
Yeah.
what if they got it wrong? What would the consequence have been?
Right.
I mean,
No, it'd
They
probably
didn't
just be
get
like,
the
nope, you're wrong. Keep counting.
opportunity to spy on their person until they finished the count.
I don't know. That was kind of weird because they
That
kind of
was
abandoned that concept later
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, they
so-
did. Yeah, it was dumb.
They're winging it.
Like the whole Bad Lana thing, man. It's like, okay, this is gonna add a nice spin to it, but in reality, it just didn't add much of a spin, right? So it was like,
Yeah, and then they introduced Louis and Flavia, which I think is good
It was cool.
additions to the season because I wasn't too impressed with the cast. Again, we already said like how impressive Louis is, so I thought he added a nice little mix up to the show.
yeah, and I liked Flavia on the previous
I like
season that she
Flavia,
was
too.
on, so yeah, it was definitely cool to see
Yeah.
those two come back. But the thing is, they're here to set the example, and they right off the bat, they both cost money. Like, I mean, it took both of them no time at all to cost the freaking team money for kissing, right? So it
Louis
was like,
tried so
you know,
hard.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Catherine was like super pressuring Louis.
Yeah.
She really was,
Yeah.
right? Like she kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And again, she's the person that's like, oh, I really want a guy to get to know me. And then she's like, later on when she freaking goes on a date with Christian, she's like, oh, Christian was actually trying to get to know me. But then she was like, yeah, he ain't trying to kiss me, so nah, I'm gonna go back to Louis, who never tries to get to know me. And it's like, dude, it's
She
like,
needs
come on,
the
man.
balance. She
Yeah.
needs someone who can be physical with her, but also have the conversation.
And
with
Louis
her.
is really a repeat from his previous season,
Oh,
which I
exactly.
mean,
He-
it's
he
Louis,
learned-
so
he's
that
the
you
exact
know what
same
you're
Louis.
getting, I guess.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
and he even goes to the suite again, and that's almost the
With
same thing
Catherine.
what happened last time.
Dude, and again, the crap they do in that suite, I mean, they get naked together, they're in the bed naked together, rubbing bodies, all this, and you're going to tell me that that's not breaking any rules when later on, like, he just touches her boobs in the shower and that's a rule break. But you're body to body, naked as shit in this bed, freaking, having whips and chains and all this other crap, and there's no rule break, and that's not rule breaking, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. And then the worst part is, right?
Well, he didn't know that he broke. He was like, "Oh, I gotta wait to see if
Right.
what we did break a rule." Like-
And then they come out of there, right? And Lana's like, "Oh, Louis, it's a good thing you didn't do anything because I'd have kicked you out." And then literally that next night, this dude cost them $40,000, and then Lana doesn't kick him out. And and this time, they kissed 3 times. They were heavy petting, like
yeah,
mutual
he could have took
gratification, touch
advantage
each
of the
other.
happy hour and got a better deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He
right?
really
It's
didn't
half
shop
price.
around.
And then she didn't kick him out for that. And it was like, okay, you just told him you were going to kick him out if he did something there, but now he just cost the team $40,000 and you're not kicking him out? I mean, later on, she kicks him out, for kissing again. And I'm like, this just didn't make any sense.
I
man.
would have
It
liked
was
for
just stupid.
her to kick out Catherine
Oh,
after
totally.
the suite.
Yeah.
You know?
I like Catherine.
I know.
I like
know.
Catherine too, but Catherine totally should have got kicked out as well.
but-
Yeah, she's not really following anything.
No,
on this
hell
show.
no.
Lana gave Louis credit for
Trying to, yeah.
he
'Cause she
towed
was-
the
'cause
line
she was
is what he
pressuring him.
said. Yeah, because Catherine kept pressuring him. So I feel like Catherine should have paid the price for that.
Oh, she should have.
I mean,
They should
honestly,
have bounced
she's
Catherine.
probably worse than Louis here.
Yeah.
With that relationship, she is. Yeah, because she's the one that instigates most of it with him, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
And Catherine leaves Louis later on, right?
Yeah.
What do we think about that?
Same thing. You wonder, that's funny too, because she's like, "Oh, Charlie's actually trying to get to know me." No, he's not. He's most of the questions or the comments he's making. He's like, "Oh, you're beautiful. You got great lips." Listen, he's not freaking asking you the questions like Christian did. So I didn't even get that when she was like, "Oh, Charlie's really trying to get to know me."
Hey, he's 6'2" in the morning.
Right.
Look,
Even though he's by far nowhere near the buffest guy in that freaking
Right.
place, right? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, dude?
I like how like he goes to Catherine. I think it's Lucy's kind of like basically shut him down. Like she's like got her chastity belt on, like you can't touch me. Yeah. And he's like, I can only cuddle for so long, you know? Yeah. And he's seeing how sexual Catherine is. So, and he's like, well, and he had the kiss with her before, he liked her before. So now he's like, I gotta get out of this celibate relationship. I need someone who's willing to break some rules.
You know, and the thing is, Lucy is one of the few people that's in a relationship that's trying to save money, right? She flat out said, look, I can use this money. You know, I don't want to waste all this money, so no, I'm not going to break the rules here. So, of course, you know, Charlie ain't down with that, right?
And she really thinks Charlie's on board.
Yeah, and she does. And
she gives him all the credit.
You really start to see how selfish and just self-serving this dude is, right? You know, it's just like, man, what a freaking douchebag.
So let's talk about Bree and Damari.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty close. And then Valentina comes in.
Yeah, she does.
And she is an upgrade.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
From all the women on the show. Yeah, like she's curvy in the front, curvy in the back.
As far as curves, she's definitely an upgrade.
Now, her personality.
Dude, her personality
But the look
sucks.
on his face when she starts walking down,
Dude.
like it wasn't even like a wow, he was just like in shock. Like he was
like every dude watching this show was thinking the same thing.
He's like,
It was like
what is
science.
that?
Like she's proportioned in all the right places and everything.
Yeah.
So
you know, and then so I mean, as soon as she stepped out, before it even showed his face, I was like, this dude's in trouble. I was like, holy crap! I was like, damn.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish Bree could have seen that.
And he gives in to temptation and kind of leaves Bree for her, right? And that's kind of messed up, especially the way he brings her back to the house.
And because she gave him the ultimatum there. She said, look, if you don't kiss me right now, then we're done, and I'm gonna go find somebody who will. So at that point, he's like, all right.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta take this opportunity, I guess.
And the weird thing about this is, like, that relationship falls apart, like, immediately.
Dude. Yeah, it's because, like, he's in bed with her, and he's like, oh, man, the whole time I'm just thinking about Bree, and I'm really messing this up with Bree. So, and then he tells her this, right? He sits her down the next day, because she confronts him. He's like, yeah, Bree's really awesome. Bree's beautiful.
And she's like, why didn't you kiss me last night or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think he did have some kind of feelings other than just sexual towards Bree. Yeah. And he got caught up in the moment with her.
He got caught up in looks, but Bree is like more for him than that.
And I think he realized that you can tell she doesn't care anything about getting to know anybody or whatever. She's very catty. The new person, Valentina.
Yeah, because she like gets into it with Lucy, gets into it with Bree, and she thinks like
the Commander meeting, she's just crapping on everybody.
Oh yeah, dude. She's like, I'm just the best looking woman in here, and I'm better than all these chicks, and it's like,
that turns him off.
Yeah,
in a very big way.
Turn anybody off at that point.
I agree.
So I think that's where
sucked.
Between that and, like, you know, he did have these underlying feelings for Bree. He regretted his decision.
And I don't know if their personalities are really clicking in general anyway.
Right.
Yeah. You know, she's beautiful, but I don't know if there's much substance to any of their conversations at all. No. So, yeah. And then he tries to work getting back with Bree, and Bree at first is pretty hard, but he's slowly breaking her down.
And here's his problem, man. All his apologies are like, I'm sorry, but like there was no real heartfelt apology where he was like, until this last one. His last one, he finally freaking knocked it out of the park. But all his apologies before that, it was still like about him a little bit, right? And I was like, dude, if you're apologizing to somebody, you need to make it about them. Completely
he
about them.
Initially tells her, like, kissing her, like, didn't change how I feel about you. And you're like, well, how strongly did you feel about me from the get-go?
Right, for kissing her, right? And then he's like, well, I'm sorry, but we're here to make connections. And it's like, yeah, you did make connection with me. So what the hell are you doing kissing her, right? So
and I really like the way she handled it. And I love, like, when she was like, look me in the eye when you're telling me this kind of
stuff. He still couldn't do it.
Yeah, I know.
He's still looking down.
Like, she was going pretty hard at him. And I was like, oh, we are done.
Yeah.
But
I love that she stuck to her guns on this one.
That was good.
For at least as long as she did. And then she didn't just take the superficial apology. Yep. Like you've seen that in other shows, you know, like what's her name did with Harry, you know, when he apologized. Yeah. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. It's like,
Jessica,
she's like, yeah, I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt. Like, your apology, you think just because you say sorry, I'm supposed to just be okay with that?
Right,
like, no.
I'm going to trust you now?
You're going to have to work for it. And I really liked her.
Yeah, that was good.
Sticking her guns for that.
Yeah, so what do we think about these workshops that happen?
So most of them were just like the rest of the season, just not that great. But now the womb workshop,
they hardly add a whole lot.
The womb workshop was good, and I was like, because of course they brought the moms, you know, the voices in to talk to them and stuff, and I was like, damn, okay, maybe this will
that was kind of cool.
It's like maybe this will get to these guys, and these guys are in there crying, talking about their mamas, you know, and then
they're hitting them hard.
Yeah, and then Dee's mom, man, she was like, look, you need to start freaking treating women as if you would want to do to treat me, and that really got him thinking, right? And that's eventually what led to his super awesome apology.
His
you know,
super awesome apology.
compared to the rest of his apologies, right? But the rest of the guys, like Louis didn't learn shit from that. Charlie sure as hell didn't learn anything from it.
I like where she starts off like who do you respect most? Charlie's like me. She's like, no, man.
Like, you're an idiot, dude.
Yeah.
and then was a Christian or one of the other guys
Joao, I
like
think is
Joao
what
was
it
like
is.
my mom.
My
You know,
mom,
she's like,
yeah.
yes, there you go, right? So, but that was a cool workshop. I thought, you know.
I think they need and they need a daily call with their mom or something. Like,
right, just to
I mean,
keep
or
it
maybe
straight.
their mom's in a
Yeah.
neighboring villa because like the mom's really kind of like in that moment got them thinking. But then as soon as they see the women, they start trolling again, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
like their minds go to mush.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then you had the orgasm workshop in the beginning, and that one was
Yeah, that
kinda
was
like,
weird.
Yeah, it was very weird, dude. I was like, I mean,
That was like when Harry met Sally kind of moment. It was
Right, right.
some people I think were just looking. It's like, come on, man, this ain't
Yeah.
like a real thing.
Well, here's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
deal. I can see that would actually build the sexual tension. I could see it getting like
Yeah.
people getting horny doing that. However, I can't see the release
Yeah.
of the energy. Like now, I just see you building it up, and now they're like, okay, workshop's done, and they all go back. And I think Louis said it. He's like,
A
it's
couple of
all
them
in my
said it.
pelvis now.
Yeah, a couple of them are like, now I'm just super horny, you know? It's like,
Exactly.
you know, and it's like, and especially when you're like doing this in a group environment, so you got all these people freaking trying to do this crap and mowing and growing in front of each other and stuff, you know? I was like, I just, you know, I could totally understand why some of them were just like, this is ridiculous.
Right.
Especially Kylisha. She was like, I'm not digging this. This is just stupid.
Right.
Yeah, and now there's some people just kind of going with the flow coasters on this, and that
yeah.
always happens. There's really only like 2 or 3 couples,
Yeah.
and the rest of the people are just hanging out here.
Yeah, you got like, you know, Chris, I mean, he tried hooking up with Bree off the bat, and then after that, you know, he kind of fell away.
Yeah.
You know, Kylisha doesn't try to hook up with
Nope.
anybody, right? And you got guys that are approaching her, like, you know, Christian did, good dude.
Gianna's just
and she was
floating
like,
out there,
nope,
too.
Gianna's floating out there. And finally, Kylisha gets bounced for it because, I mean, you know, and of course, they went through the little screenshot or tape roll or whatever of like, look, here's how you've taken this whole retreat. And totally is like, yeah, she's not taking it seriously. She's got to
Right.
go. Right. So,
Yeah, she even makes a comment like something like, I'm not going to hook up with anybody
Yeah,
here
exactly.
or something. So I'm like, well, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But
there's
like
no
they
point
don't
in being
eliminate her till like episode 7 or
But
something
she went
like that.
in
So.
with her cat purring. You know
Yeah,
what I
right.
mean?
Right, yeah, with her
she
kitty
was
purring,
just
right.
like,
Yeah,
here.
and
I like being,
Christian-
she was like, I like being tied up. you know.
Christian is trying, but she's shutting him
Oh,
down
dude.
without even really giving him
Yeah,
a chance.
and at least he got the hint and was like, yeah, you know, okay, cool, whatever. Whereas, what was that dude in the beginning's name, man? That didn't get the hint with Flavia.
Jordan.
Oh yeah, that dude
Yeah.
did not get the hint with
I was
Flavia. That
saying,
dude.
you guys gonna talk about Jordan?
They go on that date, man. They go on that date, and this dude's talking to her, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you know." First of all, he's like on the camera. He's like, "I get any woman I want because of my personality, right? I got charm." And then he gets in there. He's like, "Oh, you know what's cool?" He's, "Oh, it's the breeze." He's like, "Do you ever
wind.
wonder where the wind comes from, man? That's so cool."
Flavia's like,
And
"What the hell are you
Flavia's
talking
like, right. It's like, and then, so she's like totally not digging this dude, rightfully so, right? He's just an idiot. And then,
Jeez.
and then he's like, "Oh, you know, we need to share the bed together tonight." And she's like, "Well, let's just go with the flow." And he's like, "Yes, let's go with the flow."
He's like, the wind got
The wind-
to you. The flow of the wind.
Flow of the wind. Yeah, and he goes back and he tells everybody, he's like, yeah, we're sure
gold,
to
yeah,
bed.
yeah,
Like,
we're-
you know.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, I don't know if he understood what go with the flow.
Yeah, you know, he didn't. He definitely
This
didn't.
guy
man.
really doesn't understand wind, flow, nothing.
Yeah. And then,
And he's a surfer. Like, he needs
Right.
to understand this stuff.
oh yeah. And I was just like, man, I was just feeling sorry for this dude. It was almost like watching what was his name on the last show we watched, man? The dude that was in Love Is Blind, then he came into
Oh.
Yeah.
freaking what's that guy's
I don't
name?
remember.
Oh my God, I can't think of his name either.
Anyway,
Bald guy.
it was the bald guy. It was like watching him all over again. I was like, man, you don't stand a chance.
Yeah, his
Like,
game
holy
was
crap.
it was painful to watch.
But
You know,
he's really broken up by this, and he like
Oh, dude.
self-eliminates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like this guy had no business on this show because you could totally tell. He even said it. Look, I fall hard when I fall for somebody, and it's like, bro, you don't belong to a show like this, right? And you just because he's
Izzy, that's his name.
Izzy.
yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, but it's like if you're gonna come in here and you don't work out with a woman that you really like, and then you're not willing to try to find somebody else, then you should have never been here to begin
Yeah.
with.
Now I was a little bit surprised Catherine and Louis didn't hold out till the end.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we're pretty late, and there are only like 1 or 2 couples that probably even have a chance of winning the money at this point, and then Catherine strays.
Oh yeah. Well, again, she's like, I want somebody that freaking wants to talk to me about me because Louis hasn't at this point. That's what we haven't seen. He's never asked her a question about herself or her family or anything that is showing us on camera, right?
Yeah.
And then Charlie comes to ask her questions, and he ain't really asking her that stuff either. But for some reason, in her mind, he is. You know,
But
so I
he
was
checks
like,
more of those. He's got the colored eyes.
Right.
He's got. I mean, they both got the
Yeah,
British
and
He's the
accent.
new
so-
shiny
well, and
object.
she seemed more freaking like interested in Big Ben on Louis. You know, she's like, I've seen
true.
Big
That's
Ben.
true.
I'm really liking that. You know, so I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Now, what'd you think about the way they broke it off with their current partner? I thought that was better than usual.
It was nice that they did that. Like, they didn't kiss before doing that or anything like that. So it was nice that they did that. And I think Catherine handled that better than Charlie did,
Oh, big
obviously.
time. Because she flat out told Louis, look, I'm digging Charlie now. I'm going to go talk to him. And, and then, of course, Louis was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah, Louis was like, fine, go.
What can you do?
whatever.
He's like, I'm Louis. I can find somebody else. but then, of course.
And he does.
Yeah. But
It
then-
falls into his lap.
Then, of course, Charlie doesn't tell freaking Lucy, why. Like, okay, look, I'm digging freaking Catherine. He didn't tell her. And the thing
Well,
is,
who cares? So I'm breaking it off with. That's all that matters.
well, but and the other thing too, though, is like why, why, like when he's talking about stuff even later, he always deals half truths. Like when he's talking to Catherine about his date, he goes on a date later with another girl and doesn't kiss her, but they give him a massage, which is part of the date, right?
And she asks, is there anything else?
Sabrina, yeah.
and I don't think that's
Yeah.
that big of a deal. There's
No, it's
lotion
not.
there. Like, what do you think
Yeah,
we're
so
gonna do?
why wouldn't you
Yeah.
tell her about that, right? I mean, we've seen plenty of shows where you go on massage dates and stuff, right? So that was just so stupid that he does these half truths and just doesn't just freaking tell people.
It's very reminiscent of a Harry situation.
Oh, totally, like,
Harry,
yeah, man, no
he's
doubt.
very much Harry, which now, no surprise they fell for him at the beginning, right?
He doesn't
No
cry
surprise.
like Harry.
Right, that's true.
You know what I mean? Harry cries every other episode.
Yeah.
Harry didn't cry on his first season of Too Hot to Handle, I don't think either. He was very much like this on the first season of Too Hot to Handle. But
But Charlie's a douchebag, man.
But Lucy
Yeah.
is really broken up by this.
Oh yeah, because she's like trying to freaking save the money, really wants somebody to get to know her and stuff.
Maybe
and
she's counting the money in the
and
back
yeah,
red.
yeah. And she thinks Charlie's all in with her, right? And because he's not being honest with her, like, look, I really want some physicality going on here, and you ain't giving it to me. You didn't tell her that, and yeah, so that's just.
I tell you the moment though, when they're in the shower, he's
Oh,
naked,
dude.
and she just comes in there and is like,
Yeah, right,
You know,
exactly.
that's what did it.
Oh, yeah.
She's
he's
like,
like, are you
Yeah, bro.
gonna get naked?
No
nice.
doubt.
You gonna take your clothes off and get in the shower? Or am I just gonna stand there naked like an idiot?
Yeah,
And he's like, are you gonna take yours off or what?
She's like, no, I don't want to get my hair wet.
She didn't need to get her hair
It's like,
wet.
yeah, it's like the I gotta wash my hair excuse or something, right?
Maybe she wasn't impressed with what she saw.
Yeah, maybe not. Who knows,
I don't
man?
know, but she could have totally gotten in there without her clothes on and not
Right.
gotten her hair wet. So that
Oh,
was
yeah.
like obviously an excuse.
That killed it for Charlie.
Oh,
Wait,
it did. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, no,
That
I
was-
totally did. But again, he didn't tell her, look, here's my problem with our relationship right now. He never talked to her about it, right? So
And she thinks things are kind of good. She's actually
Oh, yeah,
impressed
man.
with some of the stuff he says in some of the workshops and stuff.
yeah, exactly. Like, oh, he's really opening up, and
Well, now
and and Louis, remember when Catherine goes on her sob story, and Louis like, Charlie, give that girl a hug for me.
And then he's hugging her.
man.
He's like, I want to kiss you right now.
yeah.
I was thinking that
was
too.
like,
and I was like,
oh,
poor
damn.
Louis just like threw them together,
Right, exactly.
really.
Yeah.
Charlie, give her a hug for me, mate.
I was just
Yeah,
like,
he was trying to be
man.
a good guy.
And the show teamed up Catherine and Charlie on purpose, right?
Oh, for
like at that
sure.
point, it's like, okay, they put them together on purpose for this one.
They might
I
have.
was like, oh man,
Yeah.
but that was funny, dude. Louis like, hey, give that girl a hug for me, bro.
No problem.
Charlie's like, yeah, I'll do it for you, bro. Don't worry.
So who has a shot at winning this thing at this point?
Friggin' at this point, maybe Bree and Damari, depending on how it turns out, right?
Now there's a cliffhanger.
The cliffhanger
there, right?
was with her on that date with what's his name? I can't remember the dude's name.
Jalen?
Jalen, yeah.
Jalen.
And like she's like, yes, okay, now Jalen
And
and
Jalen looks very similar to Damari a little bit. They
Yeah.
both
Very
have
similar.
like
yeah, but
tattoos on their chest.
Yeah, but Jalen's a little bit bigger. He's light skinned, and and he seems more suave than freaking Damari does, right? I think. But then of course you got Sabrina, who's freaking Catherine 2.0.
Yeah, these
2.0.
two are almost like
Yeah.
2.0.
and they have and they've each got a 24-hour freaking bad Lana thing. No, you can rule break all you want for 24 hours and not cost any money, right?
Yeah.
So they dropped this bomb, and of course it gives us a little cliffhanger. We know Homeboy didn't kiss Sabrina, even though they did the massage. But we don't know if Bree kisses what's his name or not. And then at the end, she's
But they're like
"Hey,
90% about the kiss.
yeah, because she tells him to scoot closer. She's like, come closer. Now, are they going to kiss? I don't think she's going to do it. And if she
I
did,
hope she doesn't.
if she did, it would make her a hypocrite at this point, right? Because she got pissed off. Now,
Especially now where they are in their relationship.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
even further along than
Right.
when
How do you
Damari
not
had
kiss
his-
her? 90% there.
Yeah.
What?
'Cause two wrongs, right?
Why'd she say, "Come over here"?
Two
for?
wrongs don't make it right. Yeah, it was jacked up that freaking Damari did what he did. He totally never should have done that. But and then of course the funny thing is they did pinky promise, but she made Damari pinky promise that his head's not going to turn anymore. Right? That's what the pinky promise was.
She's well within, I think, her rights to do that. But
she is, but she's still
it would not be good. Yeah.
Yeah. She's within her rights to do it, but it would make her a hypocrite if she did. Right. So. But I think,
hope she doesn't, because
I
that
hope
would
she
ruin things a little bit for me. Because she's really like turned around, and like I've been impressed with her. So if she
I'm very
did that, I'd be
impressed
like, you're not much different. At this
Bree's
point.
one of the few people on the show, her and probably Lucy, they're actually showing.
And she would kiss the
some-
money goodbye if she did that.
Oh, exactly. But her and Lucy are like two people who are at least showing decent moral values on this show, right? Compared to everybody else. So.
Yeah, Flavia's up there, I think, too.
Yeah, but even Flavia on day one, she came in and broke the rules, right? So, but
you
yeah,
gotta
so
break
let's
a
talk about
few
it. So her
rules
and
to make a
Joelle,
connection.
and then of course,
Yeah, it was just a kiss.
and her and Joelle seem to have a good thing going right now. But the previews showed us Jalen and Flavia potentially hooking up, and Joelle running away crying or something, right? So who knows how that's gonna work? So
I really hope that
prior
doesn't happen.
to the previews, I'd say Joelle and freaking Flavia have a chance of winning, right? Without seeing those previews, and I'd say Bree and Damari have a chance of winning. Those are the only two couples really at this point that could. But but again, at the same time, these shows are always popularity contests too, right? So it doesn't matter who's the best
That's
couple.
true. It might not
It doesn't matter
matter.
who's the best couple, like we saw in freaking
Perfect
Match, right?
They came in last minute and won.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't matter who the best couple is; it matters who likes who the most, right? At the end of the day, it's like
It could
who's
be-
it's all person. It's all
It could be Jalen and Sabrina, for all we know.
Right, yeah, who knows?
They could hook up and they could be
They
it.
got the pass, so maybe
mean-
they should.
right.
Now, Valentina, like,
If I was Jalen,
she
I'd be like,
came
yeah.
in, obviously turned Damari's head, and then, like, everybody else sees her coming and is like, wow.
Why is
but,
no
like,
one trying to hook up with her? Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Christian, nobody.
Probably because of her personality.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, Chris, we did see Chris right there in that last episode saying, "Hey, man, it didn't seem like things worked out with Sabrina for Charlie." So he's like, "I think I'm gonna try to go after that one." So we'll see if Chris tries to go after Sabrina here in the next episode.
But, like, when it comes to Valentina, and I mentioned it earlier about the women wearing their bikinis and clothes, I would like the kind of trust and faith that she has in her clothing to hold that together.
yeah.
Like, and everybody really, I mean, all these bikinis, like, the way they're holding it in, I'm like, you move just one small or move the wrong way, like, something's popping out.
Oh, yeah, Valentina's about ready to bust out of that one. man, no
I'm
doubt.
like, wow,
Yeah.
she has a lot of faith in that clothing. I mean, good on her.
Now, what I don't understand about this show is like when these guys are breaking rules, they're like, we're going to keep it a secret.
Yeah. Oh, dude, how that is the stupidest shit. Because they have all watched the other seasons. They've talked about people from the other seasons and who they like to hook up with. So we know everybody on this show has watched the other seasons. There is no secrets on this show.
Yeah.
There's no, I can't. Oh, we're not going to tell Lana.
Why do they add
Let's
this
keep it from
pretend
Lana.
element
It's
that's
just,
not even a thing?
Dude, the producers must tell them to do that because it's just
Well,
ridiculously stupid.
And the other
That is
thing
the
about
dumbest
this
thing.
that is the inconsistency of it, because like you said, when they were first in banishment, they got the opportunity to pay to see the dates. The second date
Oh, yeah, yeah.
banishment, they didn't get that opportunity. There was also the opportunity in one of the first meetings or cabana meetings to, hey, if you own up to it, then I won't fine you as much.
Yep.
Or if you don't own up to it, I'm going to double the fine. But then
Yeah.
that went away.
Right, yeah,
Like
exactly.
they're
then
not very consistent.
Yeah,
with
and
how
that
they're
second
playing that.
banishment, you're right. They were just banished for the duration of the dates. That was kind of
An
stupid. right?
hour is what
Yeah.
they were kind of
Yeah.
expecting. I'm like, an hour's a punishment?
Yeah. Well, then
You take a quick nap.
They
you're
had to
good.
change their clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Then Louis trying to cheer up Bree, and he's like being funny and stuff. And Bree's just like, "F you, Louis." You know?
Because she got in there like she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, they need to do something different. Like at least with like Perfect Match, which is a similar kind of concept. Like if you don't hook up, you're out, kinda. Even though
Right, you can come back later.
Yeah.
But like this one, I would love to see like if there was a rule break, then someone gets to vote to kind of determine who it was, and there's penalties for whoever they vote or something.
Yeah,
Because you
something.
want to try and get rid of the rule breakers.
Yeah.
Here it's like you broke the rule, man. He's like, well, so what?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna, and then Lana's like, you got a warning, and then they break the rule again. You get another warning, and then they break the rule. It's like, when the hell are you finally gonna boot these people? Like I said, especially with freaking
parenting.
Yeah, especially with Louis. Louis should have
Because
been.
Charlie was
Yeah.
like, who cares what you think?
Yeah.
Kind of, and
Right.
I
Well,
guess
some
there's
of
nothing we
them-
can do about it.
Right.
Mate, I was holding myself back from doing so much more. So, really, you're welcome for not doing more.
Some of them, like Damari keeps like he was hoping that Louis and Catherine broke a rule
Yeah, so
because
maybe
he's
Bree
like,
would win,
Bree- you know, like they're not thinking about the money. They're thinking, okay, well, if other people are breaking rules, then we should all be breaking rules.
And Charlie was thinking the same thing, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
enough people breaking rules, maybe Lucy will break rules with
Yeah.
me, but Lucy just wasn't having it, right? So, Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just kind of a lot of stuff just getting dumb at this point. They really need to make some changes to this show to keep it interesting because it's getting to the point where we're just not interesting anymore.
What about the green light?
The green light thing.
Like you see Charlie, he's like, we're talking. I told her she had pretty eyes. I told her she had pretty lips. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that's how it
Is that
normally
green? Is that
works at this
green?
point.
Well, and then they kiss anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, that sure as hell isn't going to earn you a green light. Just costing you more money, right? So I mean, it was just dumb.
They don't even know how to fake a connection there to get the green light.
Yeah, like I mean, like probably the best one that really earned the green light was the Mari and freaking Brie, right? Like that was.
Now,
a good
I
green
do
light
like
moment.
how you only got a certain amount of time, like, and you should be like ripping stuff
Right.
off or something. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the green light thing, whatever.
they need to rethink some of these
Well,
concepts, though.
Well, and the other thing too is, remember in previous seasons they've had opportunity to earn money back. We haven't
Yeah,
seen that in this season,
that's
right?
true.
There's been no opportunities to earn money back in this season. So
Yeah, like in the suite, like I think last season that Louis was in the suite,
Yeah.
the group
got
had
to vote on whether they're going to do it or not, and if they
Yeah.
don't break rules, they get money back.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, maybe they're not giving money back because this starts off higher, but like I bet it ends with the same amount
Oh, yeah, exactly.
normally,
Yeah.
from every other season almost.
What if they did have that bet? What if they did present that and it backfired on him? Because they all seemed to think that he was going to break the rule.
Yeah. Well-
so then they didn't want that actual pot to go down,
Yeah.
so they just cut that.
And again, they did break rules in that freaking room. Like, I mean, they did.
Louis didn't even
right.
know if he broke
Yeah.
it. He was waiting for Lana to
they,
tell him.
they broke rules, and the show's like, nope, they didn't break any rules. It's like bullshit. We freaking saw what was going on in that
Yeah.
room. They broke some rules, but the show is just stupid the way they do that crap.
Because at one
Again,
point, Louis
you know.
like putting like soap on
yeah.
Catherine, and he's like, "I'm just cleaning her."
Yeah,
And they're like, no.
nope. You touched her boobs. Now you got hit on
Yeah.
it, right? When they're in the shower together. But then in that room, they're freaking totally rubbing naked to naked on each other, freaking whipping each other, all this crazy shit, and you're not breaking rules. Like, get out of here, man.
Yeah, it shows a little bit inconsistent with something.
Oh, big time, big time. Dude. It is super inconsistent with that suite. Every freaking season we say this, like, and it's just nonsense. That suite's nonsense. Really.
Yeah. So
I mean, really, that suite's a freebie. It gives them a pass, really. They're allowed to do a hell of a lot more stuff in that suite, and they're allowed to do outside of it and get a pass for it. So,
That's true.
yeah. So I mean, the show's not really hidden. I'm kind of see where it's going. I'm not expecting much, but
yeah.
I am interested to see who wins. I'm kind of probably rooting for Brie a little bit, but I am curious to see if she
Yeah.
kissed Jalen.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I don't think
I
she
really
did. Man.
hope
We'll
she
see.
didn't. I really
But-
hope she didn't.
I'd be surprised if Joao and Flavia don't work out too at this point because they've been pretty strong and we're pretty
Oh,
late
yeah.
into the show at this
Yeah.
point. So for them to
But-
fall apart at this point would be
Well,
unfortunate.
I think they make a pretty good couple too. Like
Yeah, I think they do.
In
Yeah,
reality.
but production has shown us previews where it looks like they don't work out, but who knows? That could all be just bullshit anyway, right? So we'll see. Well, there you have it, folks. That is episodes 1 through 7 on season 6. So far, a lot of more of the same. I really wish they'd make some changes to this show. I really do.
They did make changes.
Some
There's bad Lana,
some good
there's
changes,
banishment.
some changes that actually matter, right? Changes that actually matter. But we'll see how it turns out. I am looking forward to seeing how it turns out and who wins, and I do want to see if Joao and freaking Flavia work out because those previews made it look like ugh. But we'll see. Anyway, hey guys, we love doing this. Please let us know what you thought about the show. Hit that like and subscribe, and we will check y'all in our next review.